Hello, Intuitive Pool community. I'm really enjoying the momentum that I am riding around leading this conversation around miracle frequency. And that for some of us, we are being invited to step into a new timeline of full embodiment of miracle frequency. So today I want to talk about something that I have absolute conviction about. I want to talk about the times when something bad happens. When something bad happens that you never saw coming. When something bad happens that we never saw coming, the default human response is to go into blame of self, that we've done something wrong, to blame others that it's their fault, to blame life that life is just unfair. What I would like to propose here today with you is that when something bad happens, that it is the precursor to an incoming miracle. Because like I explained in yesterday's podcast episode, tension is required for growth. So we can suffer that bad thing by being victim to the pressure that we now feel because of that bad thing coming into our lives. And we can suffer that pressure by believing that that bad thing is happening to us, that we are a victim of it, therefore. Or we can trust ourselves to hold the tension that has come, knowing that tension is required for growth, as I explained in yesterday's podcast episode, and have faith that something larger is being orchestrated through us. And it's being delivered through the catalyst of this bad thing that we never saw coming. And I want to say, even if that bad thing is so incomprehensible and so terrifying and just so unfair, because there is a lot of that in the world, I have experienced it myself, with the death of a 11-day-old baby many years ago now. My son just came home after doing one-on-one care with a boy that he went to high school with who had a brain aneurysm and had gone to hospital after hospital visit with symptoms of this brain aneurysm, and the hospital responding by saying he's just got a migraine or he's just got a stomach bug. And then the brain aneurysm happened, and he has had to learn how to walk and talk and eat, and it's been a huge, huge thing for their family. And I'm sending them so much love, and I'm holding them in this bigger picture that I'm talking about. So I'll just say that again, even if that bad thing is just so incomprehensible and so terrifying and just so bloody unfair, if we can contemplate the possibility that this actually has a bigger picture that's unfolding, and it's part of the plan that our soul has asked us to experience by our human self. And I know that's a massive ask. And if others are involved, if we can contemplate that potentially that is also a plan that their souls have asked to be executed by their human. And I know that's a massive, massive ask. And some people will just say to me that I am absolutely ungrounded and unreasonable and mad. And I will still stand in my conviction that if we are able to consider that there's a bigger plan unfolding, orchestrated by our souls, that this is a much more powerful and liberating posturing than believing that it is happening against us. And I have, as a coach, had the privilege of working with many, many people who have suffered the incomprehensible who have suffered different experiences that have been absolutely terrifying and absolutely so unfair, like cancer, for example. And I think to myself of people in the world that are just the most magnificent, magnificent demonstrations of posturing themselves in the idea that this bad thing has been orchestrated by their souls in order for them to have a particular experience and in order for them to lead from the consciousness of love. I'm just thinking about the Abdullahs, whose children and whose, I think it was niece or nephew, was run over by a drunk driver and passed away. Absolutely incomprehensible. And yet they forgave. I mean, it's just incredible to think that they forgave the driver. And they are now leading a similar conversation in the world that even the unforgivable can be forgiven because, and I'm using my words to describe what they stand for, that everything is a call for love. Everything. So just like them, those who choose to see through the eyes of humility will see the purpose of the plan, and they'll see it in hindsight when its deeper meaning has unfolded because they surrendered rather than resisted this bad thing they never saw coming. And that's not to invalidate the bad things that do happen in the world, because just as I demonstrated with the Abdullahs, there are very bad things that happen in the world. And if we can find that deeper meaning, and often it doesn't happen in one foul, or should I say sweet swoop, it's often more so occurs moment by moment by moment. And equally, when the good things happen that we never saw coming, that honestly take us by surprise, it's the same experience. We recognize again in hindsight that there was indeed a plan all along, that life was conspiring miraculously on our behalf. And that has actually happened in my world this year, in my family. And, that's when the real fun begins, because we start watching the miracle that we never saw coming unfold before our eyes in so much reverence. And so if this is resonating with you, if you can feel the pull that there's a miracle either wanting to be surrendered into rather than resisted against, or you have already experienced the miracle and you feel like it's asking you for reverence, I would like to invite you to join me for the Miracle Frequency Masterclass, happening over 2 days on the 13th and the 14th of November at 11 a.m. till 12:15 p.m. AEDT, New South Wales Daylight Savings Time. Because no matter what happened before or what is happening now, Miracle Frequency Training asks us to lean into a very unreasonable and unfathomable level of faith. And to do this from a very grounded seat of responsibility. This is not about being in delusion and denial. This is not about having our feet off the ground. This is about having our feet on the ground and absolutely taking responsibility for our human 3D reality. But here's the difference. Whilst refusing to give fear the final say in what it all means. Personally speaking, I have been immersed inside a knowing that says that some of us are being called to fully embody miracle frequency. I know that when I speak this out, that some of us are being called to fully embody miracle frequency. I know that those for whom this is meant, they will feel it. And I also know this, and I'm prepared to be real with my next statement, that I know that this call that I'm making to people, this call into fully embodying miracle frequency, I know that this call is not random. And here I go. I know that people have been manifesting me to lead this. And I say this with so much humility, as they have been manifesting me to lead this, that this has been their prayer, even if that prayer has been unspoken or has been unconscious to them. Their pain, frustration, self-judgment, blame and shame, and their inability to move beyond what has felt impenetrable, that has called me forth to stand so strongly in my conviction that a miracle is available no matter what happened before. That a miracle is available no matter what is happening right now. So if that's you and you would love to come to this miracle frequency masterclass next week, there is a link in the show notes and I warmly welcome you. And equally, if you feel that you don't need a masterclass, that you feel that it's time just to have a conversation with me, let's do that. Because on a daily basis, since I have been shown that this is the timeline that we are now to walk, on a daily basis, I have felt so much appreciation in my body that I have been given this conversation to lead, and that I've been called to walk with those who have also been asked, just like me, to be the vessel through which the impossible is made possible. Because I know, again, when I'm on a daily basis, when I'm in all this appreciation that moves me, that brings tears to my eyes in so much gratitude that this is my life and my calling in this moment, I know that myself included and those for whom this miracle frequency embodiment is their path, is their new timeline, I know it's because we have experienced a truckload of duality. I know because we have a generosity of love. And I know because we have very unreasonable and unrelenting faith. No matter what happened before, and no matter what is happening now. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.